Hey everybody, it's me again. What's up? So, as you guys know, this is Spoken Quest. This is just a project me and my friends are trying to, get going. Just discussing things that interest us, that bother us, just getting ideas out there and discussing them with each other in, argument form or whatever form we like. Basically, this is just an addition to Naz's new video about her first period and dealing with getting your period basically for the first time and how it was, what was my experience, and what kind of feelings I had and things that complicate the whole process in my head, in all our heads, I guess, all women's heads, like what kind of problems and thoughts we go through while getting our periods, wanting it or not wanting it, based on, what society has kind of influenced us to feel. So, again, just to repeat what Naz said, this is just something that came out of Reproductive Justice League's take on kind of getting the word out there and making it more open to us to just talk about it, making it more easier for us to talk about things like this, because obviously there's some kind of taboo about having your period, when it should be the most awesomest thing ever, because that's what continues life, that's what helps us continue life, helps us reproduce, helps us make amazing babies and amazing humans that we are. So I have no clue why there is such a big issue about having your period. Why people are so embarrassed sometimes about having your period. So basically, I'm going to start with my story of my first period, which wasn't too bad, but I recall in my memory that I really didn't want to get it. I was raised in a household with two men, so my brother and my dad. My mother is still alive. It's not like she was dead or anything. It's just that my parents are divorced, and she didn't live with us. So I didn't have a woman in the household there while I was getting my period for the first time. It was around, when was it? I'm going to say grade 7. So I woke up one day in the morning, and I was totally fine. And I just, did my usual thing in the morning, got up. But there's one weird thing that wasn't normal. And so I was only in grade 7, so it was kind of weird that I was kind of wet down there, in the morning too. I was like, no, I didn't pee myself. I don't think so. I'm in grade 7. I would have known if I had to go pee. I didn't pee myself, as it turns out. I went to the washroom, and I checked what was going on down there, down south, hello. Basically, I took off my underwear, and I was bleeding. Oh my god, there was blood coming out of my vagina! The worst thing in the world! Why did I get my period? So, again, continuing on with the fact that I was raised in a household with two guys, I was a tomboy. I still am. Like, I would say I'm more of a tomboy than anything. So I'm wearing a dress today. Oh my god. I still have that mentality. I was raised, like, by my brother. I followed him everywhere. I didn't want my period. I don't want to be, like, dragging around a pad, something that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be uncool and have to, like, be spewing shit out of my vagina. Like, why? Who wants that? Really? That's the mentality I was in. That's not cool. Like, I don't know why I'm raised that way. It bugs me that I was raised to not like having a period. Like, I know sometimes it can be inconvenient. I agree. But it's worth it. It is so worth it. It's so worth, having to deal with it once a month. But in the end, you get to give birth, you get to give life to a new creature. And just from stories that I've heard from various women, like my mom, mothers, all around, they're just like, you know what, it was all worth it. Carrying a life in your stomach, like, That's some alien shit right there. I don't know why it seems okay sometimes, but to me it's really weird. But it's amazing. It's an amazing thing to have a life inside of you, and having your period gives you that opportunity. Having, you know, eggs inside of you being produced, it's natural, it's cool, it's not the end of the world. Obviously I realized that later, when it wasn't that bad. But that day when I got it, I woke up and I went to the washroom. I didn't freak out or anything. I wasn't like over dramatized or anything. I was just like, oh. In my head, I was probably like, oh fuck, why? But I went and I was like, I went to my dad because I was the only person there. And I wasn't gonna go to my brother. He's like 4 years older than me. Now we're a bit closer, but sorry, bro. Like, I don't think he would wanted to know at that point. But yeah, I went to my dad. My dad's pretty cool, to be honest. He's a cool guy for, you know, not being weird about it. He was like, obviously ready for the day this would happen. So I go to my dad with like, really, like in my head I was like, shit, man, like really, I gotta go through this awkward shit with my dad. But I've always been close to my dad, so I was like, I don't give a fuck, like seriously, whatever. It was gonna happen. They all knew it was. I'm a girl, you know, that's what happens. So I went to my dad. I was like, so yeah, Dad, you know, today, guess what? I got my period. So either we go to the drugstore and get something for me right now, or I don't know what else to do. So I have to thank my friend Jessica, wherever you are. You used to live across the street from me. You saved my life that day. I called her up and I asked her, I was like, yo, guess what? This and this happened. Got my period. Do you got something? And so she ran across the street. This is like before school and everything, and we were gonna see each other anyways, but she ran across the street and knocked on my door. She's like, oh my god, I ran as fast as I can. So she gave me a pad, and I was like, oh yay, cool, I'm good for the day, I guess, I hope. And then I called my mom and I told her the good news, and she's like, oh, that's cool, are you okay, like any pain, this. That's, I don't know, I guess that's the extent to that. Nothing big, no awkwardness, I don't think so. I haven't really had no problems, you know, apart from just not wanting it and like feeling guilty for getting it, and that's ridiculous. I just think no girl should go through that. And the thing is, it's intrinsically taught just because, you know, we're supposed to conform to, you know, the ideal, which is what? Ideal a man. A man is ideal because he doesn't have to deal with something like that, and that's more ideal than you know, having the ability to give birth. Like, how is that not ideal? That's like an amazing power. Like, what the hell, man? And obviously I realize that now, but back then it wasn't that apparent to me. And you know what? I guess it's a growing process. It's a learning process, growing from it, and, you know, only way I learn in retrospect, of course, all the time. And now I'm just really open with it. Like, I find no reason to hide it. Like, there's no point. Like, I'm a girl, just like wearing a bra. It's like, or wearing underwear. Everybody does it. We're human beings. Okay, maybe not everybody. Some people. Okay, you know who you are. You should wear underwear. It's kind of hygienic. You should wear underwear. Anyways. So, I'm a girl. Usually, for the most part, girls get their period. So what is the problem? Why is it such a big frickin' taboo shit? It's blood coming through my vagina, which is always gonna happen throughout my life. I'm gonna have sex, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do, you know, have birth, you know, give birth, sorry. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna bleed out through that thing my whole life, okay? Whether you like it or not, it's gonna happen. I happen to like it now. So please, thank you for dealing with it. You're gonna have to deal with it. If you don't like it, that is. But, you see, if you want babies, if you want the world to continue, you know, in terms of human species, you guys better deal with it, because I believe this is the idea. This is my idea. Love your cunt. Please do. Don't be confused, because it's awesome to get your period. Love you guys. See ya.